All right, so let me tell you about something that I did when I first started being kind of serious about really trying to build my doTERRA business. I had I'd really been kind of tinkering and just halfway going at it, and I felt like I'd pretty much gone through my warm circle, and so I thought, well, I'll advertise and do that. So I started advertising with a fella in my BNI group that had a newspaper. And I spent $1,200 over the course of a year on marketing, a little over $1,200. And I got 0 leads and 0 sales from that. And that really stunk. I mean, I went, it wasn't just a text ad, it was beautiful color ads. I even paid extra for having color and really nice. And I worked on my language and all of that. But, people just don't interact with that in the way that you hope they would. So I started looking for other ways, other courses, and here is what I've learned. So online, there's 2 kinds of traffic. There's the traffic that you own, and there's the traffic that you buy. And so by traffic that you own, that means you have their contact information. You can talk to them anytime you want. That could be your mom, that could be your neighbor, or that could be people on an email list or a phone list. Okay, that's considered traffic you own because you don't have to pay to reach them. Then the other kind is traffic you buy, and that would be paid traffic. There's literally billions of people on the World Wide Web. And so getting your message in front of them, that's part of that traffic you buy. So the number one goal of marketing should be to build an email list, build a contact list. Always, 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 when you're talking to people, get their contact information. Name, cell phone number, and email are the 3 minimum pieces of information you want to get from them. Sometimes if people don't know you enough and don't have the trust enough to give you their phone number or email, then hand them your phone and say, hey, are you on Facebook? Find yourself and send yourself a friend request. And people are all about networking. That's a very non-threatening way to connect because people feel like, well, if you bug me, I can just unfriend you, So they're more likely to connect with you there. So that's what we're going to look at tonight is how to build an email list and then how to use that effectively. So before you market, you have to learn how to communicate effectively. It is not what you're saying, it's how you say it. So I have a link here for a free book that you can get. You just have to pay shipping. I think it's like $6, so it's not a big thing. This book is called Expert Secrets, and the subtitle is something like crafting your message so that people will pay you for what you know. If you're really wanting to build a business and really wanting to grow a team and reach other people, you have to be very informed and deliberate about your communication. This is not trickery. This is crafting your message so that people feel comfortable and they feel confident listening to you. And what you say or how you say it is more important than what you say. And so if you just I posted the PDF files in our group, and you can download them and just click on that. It's a special link. You can get a free copy of the book. It's got lots of other stuff if you're interested. That book really, I know Barbara and I were talking the other day, and she was like, I love your emails and how you, deliver your message there. And Expert Secrets is where I learned 98% of the tips to make my written communication better. So it's a good one. Okay. keys to class attendance. There's two ideas that you really have to communicate to people to get people to come to classes. And that is the value, that this is a valuable way to spend their time, and then urgency, that they need to be at this class. If you can communicate those two things effectively, then you'll have people show up to your class. So the key there, and we've done exercises in the past about this, about creating value, and where we list 25 ways that your attendees will benefit from attending your class, and then 25 ways that you will benefit from teaching a class. So if you haven't really put your heart into that exercise, please do that. That will make such a difference when you really have to think about all of the value that will be delivered to you as a participant or as a host of that class. Then you will be able to effectively communicate that with people, and you'll believe it and they'll believe it. The other key is urgency. So one mistake that we make is by saying, oh yeah, I'm going to have this other class, so don't worry about it. You know, I have them all the time. And that's an out for people because they feel no urgency. They feel like, oh, they can do it anytime. And we're just natural procrastinators. You know, we'll put it off. I don't have to do it. Something else important is always going to come up. So what you can do is, my suggestion for these next few months, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything like that, but use the fact that this is a Diamond Club event, meaning they can get special things. Really talk about your speakers and say, okay, this person is very knowledgeable and you're going to want to meet this person, you know, whoever is teaching the class, me or Brian or yourself or whatever. And just say, hey, this class is really valuable. You know, I'm giving these 2 or 3 classes this week, and that's really it. Then I'm going to branch out to other people. So I really want you here because I really feel like you will get great value from what you're learning. So looking at it from that perspective, have people understand that it's a valuable experience and that they need to do it now. Okay, here is a tough love lesson. And I know that there's going to be some of you out there watching this live or recorded. They're going to shake your head and say, yep, yeah, I know. Flyers and ads don't work unless you do. Posting flyers around town, creating Facebook events, and other really common marketing strategies don't work unless you do these things. You have to talk to people. And talking to people doesn't mean handing them a flyer and saying, hey, I'm having a class, so-and-so, why don't you come? That won't do it. They don't understand. There's something that you'll learn in the Expert Secrets book, and that is the temperature of your audience. There's 3 temperatures to an audience. There's hot, warm, and cold. And so someone that is in a hot audience market is someone that you've already given a sample to. They know all about, you know, they know a lot about oils, and you could make them an offer and they would be ready to buy. They know everything they need to know. In a warm market, you have to talk to people differently. You can't say, come to my doTERRA class. They're going to say, go what? You know, what are you talking about? And even if you say essential oils to them, they might have heard of essential oils, but you're going to have to explain a little bit more. And then the last is the cold market. You're going to find a lot of this in more secluded areas or in the East Coast. The people that you talk to will be a much colder audience as far as their level of information about essential oils than someone in California, okay? Because it's just that information hasn't diffused quite as well over toward the East Coast. So you're not going to be able to say essential oils or doTERRA. You're going to talk about natural healing. You're going to talk about the plant basis for modern medicine and the problems with that. So when you're talking to people, remember, think about what they know, and then help them find solutions to their problems. The number one thing on a lot of people's minds is, what can this do for me? Or what can you do for me? And so if you can be a problem solver and be someone that people turn to help solve problems, then you're going to generate a lot of trust, and people will want to, they'll see you as an expert, whether you feel like one or not, and they'll look to you for advice and trust the recommendations that you give. So give other people oil experiences, whether that includes giving them a sample, giving them a peppermint beadlet, letting them use your past tense or deep blue oil when they have a headache, you know, whatever it is. And above all, get their contact info. Have a pen and a paper, you know, a pad of paper, or use your cell phone. Just enter their contact info, or use the notepad on your cell phone and put their name, their email, and their cell phone number. A good way to get their email address is to say, hey, I have some information about this sample that I would love to email you. And then they'll say, okay, yeah, that's great. And then you can email them the product information page from doTERRA.com. So if you go to doTERRA.com and you look at our products, under each product at the bottom, there's little links to PIP. That's product information page. And that tells all about the product. It's a really great resource, and it's a PDF file. So you can just email the link to that file, or you can download it and then email that file to them. And you have them on your contact list then. So that's gold. You never have to pay for that lead again. You have them, and you can talk to them and communicate with them as you need to. Okay, so here goes with my helpful tools. And so this is, when to use these is after you read your Expert Secrets book, after you work on crafting your message. Because I'm going to be really honest with you, a lot of these methods that I'm telling you and the tools I'm sharing with you will not work if your language is not compelling. Okay. And I see this all the time, these really blah, generic, dry, Eventbrite or Facebook event, Facebook ads, Facebook page post. Come to my oils class. You're going to love it. That doesn't inspire me to want to know more. So really take the time and read the book and get the tools. But when you do that, Eventbrite.com is a great, great tool. If you're unfamiliar with it, go to Eventbrite, download the app on your phone or your mobile device, and check it out. You can search for events, free and paid events in your community. And for anyone doing an event where the admission is free, like an oils class, then you get to list the event for free. Many, many people use the app. And I'll tell you, just about 2 weeks ago, I was teaching a class in Houston at Bay Colony Chiropractic. And a couple walked in, and I didn't know them, and Dr. Sanders didn't know them. And they sat in the class, and we talked to them afterwards. And they said that they had been out having dinner, and they wanted to do something after dinner. And they didn't want to go to a movie. They didn't want to go to a bar. So they brought up Eventbrite. And they saw, hey, there's a free essential oils class, and it's right around the corner. So they just came on and joined. You know, I didn't have to pay a bit for that lead. And they're interested in joining and getting oils and in becoming a patient of Dr. Sanders. So wow. That was a great free lead. Yeah. And that happens actually when you list on Eventbrite and it's a free ticket, people can request tickets. And when they do, you get their name and email. So I add them to my email list, and they get my follow-ups and advertising and special events, and I've enrolled people through that, several people. So that's a great free tool that you can use. Another thing is a public Facebook fan page. So there's lots of different types of Facebook pages. There's your personal page, you know, and you can talk about what you do, but I wouldn't talk about it too much because people start to go, that's all I talk about is business, and they'll unfollow you. You can have a private group, and the advantage to a private group is that you can invite people, and if they're interested, they can join. I do not suggest at all adding people without their permission, because that tends to make people upset. I've had that happen to me many times where people have added me to their groups, and then my news feed is spammed with all of these posts and something I didn't want to see. And that was not a good feeling. So always get their permission. But when you have a group page, and it can be a public group page, the nice thing is that everything that you post in there, the people in that group see it, okay? It is not, the group page is not subject to the Facebook algorithm. The public Facebook fan page is subject to the algorithm, meaning that people who interact frequently will see more of your posts. Those who don't interact will see fewer of your posts. However, it does have some big advantages. Even though it takes time to build an audience, this is something that you can invite people to like. You can have a giveaway that says, hey, I'm going to give away a bottle of wild orange. To enter, like this post, comment, and tag 3 friends, or share it, or something like that. And that's a good way to build an audience of people who will be interested. And then once you have several hundred people on your fan page, then that is a good place to run ads to a warm market. These are people that are there because they have an interest in what you're doing. And for very little money, $5 to $10, you can run some well-crafted ads for specials or products that you want to promote. So that's the advantage of that. And then Facebook ads and a Facebook ads course. Okay, don't spend a dime on Facebook ads until you take the course. There's lots of paid courses out there, but if you will go to Facebook and search for Facebook ads course, Facebook has one that's free. They wrote it about their system, and it's perfect. It's right. You don't have to worry about getting bad information, and it's really well done. And trust me when I say, if you run ads before taking the ads course, you're going to throw your money away. And I've done that. I'm going to share some of my failures with you in the spirit of transparency in just a few minutes. Okay, 2 last tools that I use, and these are not free, but they are cheap. First is something called a bridge funnel. So we all have that page, mydoterra.com/ whatever you named your site, and we can send people to that. But the problem is that it looks like everybody else's, okay? You can't change it. Search engines do not pick it up because it's copy content material. So I have something called a bridge funnel. It's an online sales funnel. It's like a web page, but it has 2 purposes. First, it collects contact information, and then it bridges to your doTERRA business page. And you can get this service for $20 a month if you get a special link from me, and you can have up to 2 shared funnels. So I am going to follow this link, and I'm going to show you an example of what that looks like. Okay. So on the screen, you'll see this is the bridge funnel. I made a logo. I think I paid $19 to a service to make me a logo. And then I used one of those catchy headlines. I posted like 70 something of those in the group. So how to do something, take care of your daily wellness challenges without insurance or doctor visits. So, and that's something you learn in Expert Secrets. You don't have to be an expert to do this. So here, this is a lead capture. So when they enter their first name and their email and click this, then it automatically delivers a free PDF file to their email. They get a free report. So I'm going to demonstrate that. Laura. Oops.
Interesting.
And then whenever they do this, it takes them to the next page. Okay. So this is where you could put your own picture there. This is a video that, that I put up there. So this is a video that tells them a lot about the starter kits in doTERRA, and so they can decide which kit is right for them. I tell them, grab a pen and paper because you're going to want to jot some things down. And then, do you know what enrollment kits you want? Great. Now it's time to take advantage of my special offers only available through me, and you can replace that with your information. So I list my special offers where the membership is free with a kit. Okay. So, and I'm going to send them a bottle of oils and a little welcome bag. And then they'll get access to my Facebook support group community. And I put all the values and I tell them, create your account here. So whenever they click on this, then that goes to my doTERRA join page. Okay, so that tells them about the accounts, and then they click join doTERRA. So that is your back office, and this is the enrollment process. So they've already seen the enrollment kits. They've gotten the information in their email about how to use the oils. So that's just one example of what a bridge funnel is. Remember, it does two things. It gets their contact info, so you can get back in touch with them and add them to your email campaign, and we'll talk about that. And then it bridges to your doTERRA business page so that they can make a purchase or they can enroll.
That is so cool.
And my version that I have, I use ClickFunnels. It's a service called ClickFunnels. And, you know, we have the big package because we do a lot of funnels, and it's like $297 a month. But if you just want to use funnels that I've created that I share with you for free, you can have up to 2 different funnels that are active and running for $20 a month. It's like $19.99 a month, which is a fantastic price. The other thing that we started doing, this is something, this is something that Patrick came across. It's a cool thing. It's a little round disc on my keychain, and it's called a royalty gem. And what it is it's a Bluetooth transmitter, and it transmits a tweet or a 40-character message and any link that I want to anyone that's within 100 yards of me. So since I live in the country, it's not all that practical and useful to the cows and the goats around me. But when I go to town, or when I go to an airport, or a sporting event, or a convention like doTERRA convention, it's going to be able to broadcast to thousands and thousands of people. So what it does is it pops up as a notification on their Android mobile device. So it only works for Android. But have you ever, if you have an Android phone, did you know that if you leave your Bluetooth on and you go to a business like Taco Bell, then sometimes you'll get discount codes and coupons pop up when you visit their business, or Starbucks, or things like that. And it just pops up in your notifications, like, you know, you got a new email, and it'll stay on the notification as long as you're within 100 yards of that person radius. So that's a really cool thing. You can get that for as little as $25 a month. We actually have 3 of them, and we don't pay a dime, because if you tell other people about it and they get them, then Royalty Gems has an affiliate program where if you Sorry, my kids just came in from the pool and they're giggling. Where if you have 3 to 4 other people that you've referred, then you get your service for free. So we have 3 gyms, and that would be $50 a month. But since we have other people referred, then it's free. So that's a cool thing. A lady told me, okay, this is kind of funny. I thought it was great. Since it fits on a keychain, a lady that we talked to said that she gets old keys that don't go to anything, and she makes copies of them. And so it looks like a fake keychain. And then she goes to a busy restaurant, and she puts her royalty gem on there, and she goes to the restroom and comes back to the host and says, "Hey, I found these keys in the bathroom. You know, you might want to put them in your lost and found." So they go there at the hostess station in the lost and found. And meanwhile, her device is transmitting to everybody. So, you know, she just leaves it there. And she's done that in airports and things like that. And she refers other people, so she gets her service for free. But the battery on the transmitter will last up to 3 years. So it's really an interesting concept there. I haven't left any at restaurants or airports, but anyway, the lady that does that, she actually tracks hundreds of people coming in and using her link and getting her service by doing that. So it's a cool thing to check out. All right, so I'm gonna move this out of the way. My failures. This is. I have to laugh or else I would cry. You know. I already told you I've spent over $1,200 running newspaper ads for a year that got me 0 leads and 0 sales. So that was a big, please don't do that. You're wasting your money. I know I spent at least $300 on Facebook ads before I took the training and figured out I was doing it all wrong. I was spending a lot of money. I didn't get any results. You can do it far better, cheaper, if you just spend a couple of hours taking the course and doing what they tell you to do. And then, you know, we have multiple classes, and we still have them where no one shows up because handing out flyers was the primary form of advertising, or just talking to people but not really talking to them and communicating the value and the urgency. So, you know, I just want you to learn from my mistakes, and we can work together and figure some things out. The tools I've shown you are not the end-all be-all things. Those are just some things that I am doing right now, and they're working, and they're very cheap or free, and you don't have to spend a lot of money to do this business. I was watching a Facebook Live video with Boyd and Sandy Truman last week. And in case you don't know, Boyd Truman is our upline, and he's at least a double presidential diamond. And he said, you know, we have people who are, you know, gold or silver, and they're spending $10,000 on a personal coach, you know, and they're paying for all these programs to train them and to do all these things. And he said, that's ridiculous. He said, if you will just do the basics of what we teach you and what I'm teaching you, you can, he said, that is how we built a presidential diamond. He said, I'm a double presidential diamond. I think I know what I'm talking about. I was like, yeah, I bet, you know, he does. So you don't have to spend a lot of money, but if you will focus on the core things, build yourself an email list. And that could be on something like MailChimp. What I recommend is building an email list on a contact management system. And so you can Google those. MailChimp is free to use until you exceed a certain number of contacts. I think it's like 200 or so, and then it's very inexpensive. I use a content management through ClickFunnels that's integrated with my funnels, but that, you know, you have to pay for the bigger package to get that. But use that, and that way you can manage your list, keep up with who's opening, who's clicking on links in those emails. You can move people from a prospect list to a customer or team member list so that you can deliver different messages to them. And you can broadcast messages very quickly with apps or by your computer and contact them. So my best advice is start with your circle of contacts and then branch out to their circle, okay? If you want to go into the market, learn about your traffic sources, figure out how to speak to those different audiences, and craft your message carefully. Get that expert secrets book and study it. Treat it like a textbook. Learn from your mistakes and other people's mistakes, and you know, let's talk and mastermind this out. If you're wanting to get into talking to more people and really building faster, that's what you have to do.